With summer heading our way, there's no better time to talk about what there's to come in the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass than right now. I mean, not only did we recently get our first GameCube track, but also a brand new course with Birdo being a playable character. As you can tell, things are starting to heat up for the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC, which is why we need to bring the hype up for the next wave. That's right, today I'm going to predict what's to come next in Wave 5 of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass. As of always, let me know if you agree with my predictions, and feel free to share any other thoughts in the comment section below. Alright, so we all know that once Wave 4 came out, it was evident that the prefixes from the leaks were true, which means my theory about the GameCube track being switched out of Wave 3 in favor of Wave 4 has been totally debunked. So due to the original prefix leak having 2 Wii tracks in Wave 6, I'm going to safely say that GameCube track switched with one of them, hence the appearance of Wave 3's Wii Maple Treeway. But yeah, why am I telling you all of this? Well, since I feel like the only minor change will be in Wave 6, I feel like Wave 5 will be the total opposite and be treated similarly to how Wave 4 was. The prefixes will most likely be correct, but just swapped in different positions. So with that information, here's what I think the final prefixes will be in order. Confused as to why I still chose this? Well, here's why. Starting off with the Feather Cup, it's clear that the first track will be a city one, since the BCP is notorious for starting off every cup with one of Tour's city tracks. So in this case, I feel like it's finally Los Angeles Labs' time to shine in this wave. I mentioned previously that this track could have been in Wave 4, but after being wrong about it, it totally makes more sense to have it appear here now. LA is a beautiful city located in SoCal, filled with beaches and tons of sunshine. It's honestly the perfect track for the summer as it screams the same vibes. I mean, who doesn't want to drive through the Santa Monica Pier, Venice Beach, over Dodger Stadium, and even visit Beverly Hills? Not to mention, each version of LA Labs has a different starting line, so it'd be interesting to see if Nintendo decides to make this one a section track. Overall, LA would be a good starter track, and would be even better if they released Charging Chuck alongside it as a playable character. Just saying. For the second track, I'm thinking that we'll be seeing the last GBA track to come to the BCP, Sunset Wilds. I chose this track to be next since it seems like Nintendo likes putting new GBA tracks in the second spot in each cup, so I guess it would be funny to keep up this consistency. However, that's not really a reason as to why I chose Sunset Wilds to begin with. You see, Sunset Wilds' theme has been leaked alongside many others months back, and it turns out that pretty much every track in that leak made a return as DLC. So it's safe to say that Sunset Wilds will be joining in. To add, this track is a certified bop. I honestly love how the background changes every lap, going from the afternoon, evening, and to the middle of the night. There's usually no other track that does this, so it would be awesome to see this on the big screen. But other than that, the track is simply a fun, chill track on tour, and I can already tell it's going to be another fun one, especially on 200cc. Nice, short, and sweet. Onto our third track of the Feather Cup, we have Wii's Koopa Cape. As I mentioned previously, there's going to be 2 Wii tracks left since Maple Treeway decided to switch with a GameCube track, likely from Wave 6. And with Wii Rainbow Road most likely being the other Wii track, I think Koopa Cape will come to this wave. While many can say they can kinda see Koopa Cape in the banner leak, my reason for its inclusion is it's simply a classic that can't be overlooked. Seriously, so many people picked this track back when Mario Kart Wii was new, so it would actually be a missed opportunity if they left this one out, as like in LA Labs, this track also screams summer vibes. And even though Dry Dry Ruins is the only other track that's in Tour and not in Deluxe yet, what I'm about to reveal in the next couple of minutes makes more sense as to why I didn't include it instead. But yeah, Koopa Cape seems like a lock-in and would be the highlighting track to include half-pipe action as well as a cool underwater section. It's definitely not summer without going underwater. And to finally wrap up the Feather Cup, I'm going to include Tour's most recent inclusion to the city tracks, Athens Dash. I believe Athens Dash will take place as the last track because from what I've heard, feathers are associated to Greece. I don't know the logistics behind this, but I think it's likely due to the influences with the Greek gods and goddesses. In terms of the track itself, there's lots of ancient history here and it would be fun to surprise new racers with its various route changes per lap and with the constant changes in elevation. When I first played this course, it felt like an escapade and the music just makes you feel like you're competing in the last Olympic event of the day. Fitting because Athens also held the first ever Olympics. So yeah, Athens Dash seems like the perfect track to end off the first cup, so let's move on to the second cup of Wave 5, the Cherry Cup. Starting off, I think we're going to be getting our final city track of this wave, which will most likely be set in Cairo, Egypt. Why do I say this, you may ask? Well, remember the promotional art from Mario Kart Tour? All of the objects in the background symbolize different landmarks that the characters have visited, such as the Eiffel Tower and the Statue of Liberty. And the only object that hasn't been technically visited yet is this area with a bunch of pyramids. So with this logic, it seems like Egypt would be the best choice to showcase this landmark. It would be cool to drive around more famous landmarks that are not just urban settings, similar to how they treated Athens Dash. I think we'll be able to drive around the city of Cairo as well as vacant desert areas and inside the pyramids. This is also the reason as to why I don't think Dry Dry Ruins will make it to the BCP, as having that in Cairo would be way too similar. Let me know what you guys think, and if you agree, what would you name the Cairo track? Maybe Cairo Chase, to be honest, because I don't know, being chased by camels would be pretty funny. Next up, I think Nintendo will shake things up and introduce us with something that's the opposite of summer, which is SNES Vanilla Lake. Now, you're also probably wondering why I chose this over the abundance of other themes that Super Mario Kart has, especially since this one in particular is very short. Well, if you think about it, we can't have Ghost Valley because it's too similar to Boo Lake. Choco Island would be too similar to Choco Mountain, Koopa Troopa Beach will technically be like Koopa Cape, and Mario Circuit, we already have the third one. So, with this, I feel like Vanilla Lake is the best answer. Even though you can argue that it's similar to Snowland, there are honestly lots of ads in Coconut Mall that tease Vanilla Lake, so it's quite possible they will go through this plan. And even though Nintendo can add one of the Bowser castles, it seems more unlikely, as Nintendo has been avoiding adding any Bowser's castle in any of the waves. So yeah, Vanilla Lake is the best pick, and I'm hoping they can combine both versions to at least spice up for its lack of length. Moving on to our third course in the Cherry Cup, we are introduced to another classic, GCN DK Mountain. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why another DK track? Well, hear me out. I think this wave will most likely introduce two new characters. I've already mentioned Charging Chuck briefly as my potential first pick, so I feel like DK Mountain is perfect for my second pick, Diddy Kong. Diddy Kong was a staple character in Double Dash and Wii, so it totally makes sense for him to appear in a course like this. Not to mention, DK Mountain is such a fun track to drive on despite it having a similar layout to Summits. And even if it does have a similar layout, call me crazy, it still feels like a different course. The track also gives the wave more diversity, since the other track I mentioned earlier were more water related or desert related. So it would be a cool exhilarating adventure to be able to avoid those falling boulders in 200cc, as well as tricking off that scary bridge at the end. Some people have also speculated that Mushroom Bridge could come to the BCP due to Tor's leaks, but I don't know. I personally think Mushroom Bridge looks too similar to some of the city tracks, so I personally would rather have DK Mountain, which is already more exciting to begin with. Okay, so to finally end off the Cherry Cup, I believe we're going to be getting a totally brand new track, similar to how Nintendo surprised us with that Yoshi's Island track back in Wave 4. Yep, you know what I'm talking about, that infamous bathroom track everyone has been speculating. In case y'all live under a rock, there's been leaks about a bathroom track coming to tour with the codename Mob BR Nitro. Mob standing for mobile, and Nitro implying that it's new. While BR can mean anything, there's been assets that associate with the track, such as a rubber ducky and a clothespin. So it seems like it has to do with a bathroom, laundry, or basically somewhere in the house. My theory is that the track could be heavily inspired by the Mario Kart home circuit, where tracks were made in the comfort of your home. Nintendo will probably go crazy and try to add that similar feeling, but I guess more with that bathroom setting. Look, all I know is, if this is actually true, we'll probably end up being small like in Ribbon Road. But instead of being surrounded by toys and stuff, we'll probably be avoiding things such as soaps and sponges. Great, now I just want a track based off of SpongeBob's bathroom. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching my Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Wave 5 Booster Course Pass predictions. Leave a like if you enjoyed and comment down below your personal list. In addition to my course predictions, you should also check out my ranking on the Wave 4 DLC. I promise it isn't boring, but if it is, then... oh well.